It is good to be in the house of the Lord. It is good to come together and to share with one another.
Amen.
There are times when it's easy to know what I'm supposed to teach on, and then the time when it's difficult to know what to teach on. And I will confess that I was willing to do what I call a sugar stick sermon. That means the one you preach before, and it's easy, and you can go through it, and everything just lines up just right, and it's great. I was tempted, and then my dear brother over here, Brother Steve, he called me up and said, "Now I don't know why I'm supposed to say this, but you teach what God told you to teach."
Amen.
Now, Brother Steve don't know at that very moment I'm considering my sugar stick sermon. But God knew.
But God knows.
And God said, "You got it down, are you? So we're going to try." I said, God hates divorce. The one thing that I want to notice about divorce is it's not spelled D-E-V-O-R-C-E. It's called spelled D-I-V-O-R-C-E. It makes a difference. It's the I in the middle. That's the problem. Let's go to the book of Malachi, chapter 2. Yes, Malachi is in the Old Testament, okay? In fact, it is the very last book in the Old Testament. It's the last one of the minor prophets. Pastors read from Malachi quite often because they want to talk about tithing. I'm going to talk about divorce out of the book of Malachi. Malachi chapter 2, and we'll read verses 13 and 17, and then I'll stop and talk about a little bit. Malachi 2, begin at verse 13. Would someone read for me, please?
And this have ye done again, covering the altar of the Lord with tears, with weeping, and with crying out, insomuch that he regardeth not the offering any more, or receive it with good will at your hand. Yet ye say, Wherefore? Because the Lord hath been witness between thee and the wife of thy youth, against whom thou hast dealt treacherously. Yet is she thy companion, and the wife of the covenant? And did not he make one? Yet had he the residue of the Spirit, and wherefore one? That he might seek a godly seed. Take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth. For the Lord, the God of Israel, saith that he that hateth putteth away. For one covereth violence with his garment, saith the Lord of hosts. Therefore take heed to your spirit, that ye deal not treacherously.
And 17 as well.
The Lord with your words. Yet ye say, Wherein have ye wearied him? When ye say, Everyone that doeth evil is good in the sight, and he them.
Does that sound like America today, or what? You call what is evil good, and you kind of complain because there's no justice. Well, you weary God, and all you say, everyone is evil, what is good is evil, who cares? It really doesn't make a difference. We can do whatever we want to do. I do hesitate to talk about divorce in a church setting because it is a very odd topic, one that creates great difficulties in relationships within the church as well as sometimes at home. Now, they tell me that you can get divorced and go to the same bar, but you can't get divorced and go to the same church. Ought not be this way. We ought to be able to love those who are in trouble. We ought to love those who are in the midst of relationship troubles and trials and tribulations. The church is the only one who tends to soothe their wounded. It's a sad, sad deal, but we always have to decide who the guilty party is, and we always got to take sides. I don't think that would be God's desire at all. But I want y'all to admit here about the reasons why God hates divorce. First of all, God is saying to the children of Israel, you have wearied me, you have worn me out, I'm sick and tired of you. And you say, well, how have we made God weary? How have we made God sick and tired of it? And he goes on to tell them, he said, I'm not going to regard your offering, your crying buckets of tears. It really doesn't mean nothing. You're just tired of the pain. But I'm not going to honor that request at this point in time because you're not serious. You're crying because of pain, not because you want to do something about it. Now, it goes on to say, well, why aren't you going to hear our prayer? That, well, look, he said, I have seen your marriage relationships. He said, I have seen the things in their marriages that bothers me, that caused me great problems. First of all, the Lord has been a witness when you made that vow with your wife of your youth. Almost every wedding vow that I'm familiar with, George, I was saying that we are in the presence of God and these witnesses. Even the judge wants to witness us. Why does he want witnesses? Because he wants, when you decide you want to get a divorce, he wants that witness to say, no, I was there the day you said you wouldn't. I was there the day you said I do, and I will do it until death do me part. Now God said, I was a witness of that. But I have seen that you have dealt treacherously with your wife. You are abusing your wife, you're abusing your husband, you're not doing the things that you're supposed to do to take care of the wife of your youth. It's important that we take care of our wives, and wives take care of their husbands. God notices it. Not only does God notice it, I want to give you a little hint. The devil notices it too. And when there's a problem in your marriage, the devil makes sure somebody comes along to give us some words of encouragement and say, you don't have to put up with that nonsense. You can leave anytime you want to. Be careful if you have trouble in your marriage. Be careful who you talk to. Because divorces are contagious. And you've had a friend that's got a divorce recently and you decide your other doing some terrible things pretty soon. You're gonna want a divorce too. It's contagious. Be careful. Consider your heart. Consider your spirit. Consider your attitude. Consider what's going on in your marriage. The second reason why he goes on to talk about this is she is your companion. You see, two have become one. When you get married, two people become one. And if you ever get a divorce, you don't come out all. You come out two half people. I come two half-wits, and we don't know what we're going to do with ourselves. Our lives in such shambles, we don't know what we're going to do. And I'll hear about a man seeks godly offspring. Now, my father was a religious man, a man who followed God's care with all his heart. And we had a total of 8 kids in my family if we count the one that died at 2 or 3 years old. My dad said if the people in Hollywood can raise 7 kids for the devil, I can raise 7 kids for the Lord. He was seeking godly offspring, and I always know there was only 2 or 3 years in between most of us But one of the reasons why God is against divorce in this particular case, they were taking on more wives so they could have more kids in order to propagate the race, in order to make it in their family larger. And they made basically that's what happened to Abraham and Sarah and Hagar. Well, Sarah couldn't have a kid, so we got Hagar to do it. And then we got Rachel and Leah with Jacob fighting one another. It's not good to have two wives. It's a bad thing, even if it was a case of trying to have more kids. And oh, by the way, when you get divorce happens to your kids also. Your kids also have to choose. Your kids also have to decide who's right and who is wrong. And if at all possible, please avoid divorce. God hates divorce because of what it does to his kids, what it does to the individual, and what it does to their families. It doesn't just happen to just two couples that got married. It happens to the whole family, parents, grandparents. It happens to the family line. You ever start to think of someone who's gotten married and divorced 3 times or 4 times? Who are they going to get buried by? Now, I think it's important that I get buried by my wife. And if I get married again, my Dorothy better bury me by my first wife. And if you're around when that decision came up, you said, no, Brother Park said, you make sure I get laid to rest with Joanne, okay? Just saying. Alright. Divorce is an act of war. It's not an act of love. It is an act of violence against the other person, against the world, and against God himself. So, God does not like divorce. In fact, God hates divorce. Now let's go to Matthew chapter 19. Matthew 19, 1 through 10.
And it came to pass that when Jesus had finished these sayings, he departed from Galilee and came into the coast of Judea beyond Jordan. And great multitudes followed him, and he healed them there. The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? And said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh? Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder. They say unto him, Why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement, and to put her away? He saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, shall marry another, committeth adultery, and whoso marry her which is put away doth commit adultery. His disciples say unto him, If the case of the man be so with his wife, it is not good to marry.
You better off not get married at all. If you're gonna be that tough about it, it's better not get married at all. That's what the disciples said. Now, we want to talk a little bit about this. Because Jesus said from the beginning this was not so. Divorce was not an option at the beginning. So many times when couples get together and they're they're talking about getting married, they say, well, you know, it's just a piece of paper. It really doesn't make any difference. And you know what? At the start, they are right. Because a spiritual union, or you become one not because of a piece of paper. You become one because of sexual intercourse. With having a spiritual union between a man and woman, that is when it becomes the one who becomes one. It's not a piece of paper. At the beginning, it's not a piece of paper. At the end of that relationship, it's all about the piece of paper. Because if you're just living together with somebody and you're paying bills together, and then all of a sudden he decides or she decides to go over here to somebody else, what protection do you have for your assets? What protection do you have for your kids? They got me saying, well, who's gonna take the boys and who's gonna take the girls? And then pretty soon the welfare gets involved and say, well, none of you get the kids, but none of you were having the kids. You see, that piece of paper, at the beginning, it's just a piece of paper. But at the end, it's everything. At the end, you have to, and that's what Moses said, if you're going to divorce her, you have to give her a written divorce. You could just say, I'm done with you. You had to give her a written certificate of divorce, and you had to give it to her personally. It's like when somebody gets divorced, and they call the sheriff, and the sheriff comes and gets his piece of paper, and he comes to the door and says, well, the judge says you're divorced. Now the final, and he goes, yay, yay, hooray, I finally got rid of the old man. But that's in writing. See, and in writing the judge says, you bought a house together, and you're gonna sell that house, and he gets that, and you get that. You bought cars together, he gets one, you get one. You have credit card debt, and you gotta pay this because it's your stuff, he pays this because it's for his guns. You see, the judge gets all involved because of the divorce. At the beginning, that piece of paper is nothing. You're already in a sexual spiritual union to become one, meaning it doesn't matter. But at the end, it's all about everything. It's about what is going to happen with me, what's going to happen with my kid, what's going to happen with them. And furthermore, the judge in Nebraska says, if you get divorced in Nebraska, you can't get remarried for 6 months. Because he wants to know that is a very solemn thing to break a vow. It's not easy to break a contract. It's something that should not be done. But the divorce at the end of that paper is everything. Now let's go to the book of Mark, chapter 10. Very similar wording. It's just one or two things that I want to point out. Mark 10, 1 through 12.
And he arose from thence, and cometh into the coast of Judea, by the further side of Jordan. And the people resort unto him again, and as he was wont, he taught them again. And the Pharisees came to him and asked him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife? Tempting him. And he answered and said unto them, what did Moses command you? And they said, Moses suffered to write a bill of divorcement and to put her away. And Jesus answered and said unto them, for the hardness of your heart he wrote you this precept. But from the beginning of the creation God made them male and female. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and cleave to his wife. And they twain shall be one flesh. So then they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder. And in the house of his disciples asked him again of the same matter. And he saith unto them, Whosoever shall put away his wife, and marry another, committeth adultery against her. And if a woman shall put away her husband, and be married to another, she committed adultery.
Alright, now, notice that that is unlawful, and these are what did Moses command? Well, in Matthew they said, Moses commanded him to give her a written divorce, and he said, no, he didn't command you, he permitted you to get a divorce. He made an exception that if there was adultery, then it would be okay to get a divorce. But it was the exception. It was not to be the rule. That was the exception. Now, just so you understand the situation, in the Old Testament, you would have to worry about a woman who was divorced because of adultery, remarrying. You know why? She'd be dead. Because in the Old Testament, if a wife was caught in adultery, they'd take her in front of her father's house and stone her to death. So you wouldn't have to worry about no second chance, okay? I mean, now, of course, if they divorce for lesser reasons, then they can go on and marry somebody else, etc., etc. But notice why Jesus said that God or Moses allowed divorce or perverted because of the hardness of your heart, because he knew that it is very difficult to forgive adultery. It's very difficult to move on from that in your life as well as in their life. You know, why is adultery such a big thing? I mean, why not just say, well, if your wife spends $10,000, you can divorce her? Why just say, well, if your wife doesn't cook your food right? Why does God say with exception that only adultery? It goes back once again to that you become one. You see, I drink coffee. I drink lots of coffee, but it's adulterated water. It's not water anymore, and you can't make it water again. Okay, but the adultery has to do with, once again, is not the piece of paper, it's that sexual union, that spiritual union, at the time of divorce, that becomes a problem. So it muddies up the water, so to speak. And it has been my experience that those who get involved in adultery have a very difficult time sticking to somebody else, if you know what I mean. It's hard to say, well, we'll go back to this. No, doesn't happen that way. So, I want you to notice that for what it does not say. It does not say that God hates those who get divorced. He said God hates divorce. See, God hates the action, not the person that does it. Then you say, well, is getting a divorce a sin? Well, you know, you can talk around it all you want to. But the bottom line is the same. God said, do not get divorced. That's a pretty strict commandment. Do not get divorced. So yes, it's a sin. But the good news is, it's not the unforgivable sin. You see, you gotta go on. You can't just stop there and say, well, I got divorced, now the rest of my life is over. No, it's a matter of moving on with God. Now let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 24, which, by the way, is where the Pharisees were coming from. In Deuteronomy 24, verses 1 through 4.
What was that? What part? Deuteronomy?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24.
Thank you.
And read verse 1 through 4.
When a man hath taken a wife and married her, and it came to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he hath found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement, and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. And if the latter husband hate her, and write her a bill of divorcement, and giveth it her in her hand, and sendeth her out of his house, or if the latter husband die, which took her to be his wife, her former husband which sent her away may not take her again to be his wife, after that she is defiled, for that is an abomination before the Lord, and thou shalt not cause the land to sin, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance.
Alright, so what this is referring to is if a man or wife gets divorced for no reason, or just because they didn't like the color of what they made or whatever, that he had to give her a writ of divorce. Now what that means is he had to have a reason that we would call common sense, a reason that the community would say, yeah, this is right, she should not have done that, and that's in writing. It could just be gossip. It has been writing what they done, and then it goes on to say that if it goes on to another, well, it doesn't say she could do that at that point in time. It goes on to another, but it says, but don't ever come back to the same one again, because of the fact that we started a new relationship. And don't go back there because it causes too much confusion in the land. And furthermore, I think it is much a sexual disease health option as anything else. It's just not why that moment sex partners, I don't care who you are, it's not a healthy thing to do. So at this point in time, you may say, well, you know, I think I agree with the disciples. It's better for a man not to get married at all. If he can't get rid of her, it's better not get married at all. But I want to talk to you today about what if you are considering a divorce. If you are considering a divorce, I very highly recommend go find a pastor. I don't care what pastor, go to a pastor and say, we've got a problem and we gotta do something about it. Divorces do not have to happen, even in the case of adultery. It's not, God didn't say you gotta get divorced if you have committed adultery. It said, I will allow it if you have adultery. I will allow it because of the hardness of your heart, not because you can't go on, because you can't go on. Oh, it ain't easy. Believe it, not easy with it can happen. Alright, so that's the first word of caution. Discuss it, but do not proceed. Number one, do not talk to your friend about divorce. If you want to talk about divorce, talk with the person you're going to divorce. He's the one that needs to know, or she's not person over there. Don't talk to your parents. they're going to say, of course, the writer might get, and I know you did another one, it's gotta be his fault. Well, some parents do that. Some parents don't. Some parents say your own tough luck. Okay. We'll go back to Mark. No, I'm back to Matt, I think it is. Yeah, Matthew 19, I think. Uh, 19 and verse 11 and 12.
But he said unto them, all men cannot receive this same, save they to whom it is given. For there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb, and there are some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men, and there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it.
Alright, so Jesus acknowledges that it's very difficult to go on without a sexual relationship because we were created to be procreate. We were created to have that intimacy with one another. He said not everybody can accept this. There are those who can, there are those who can't. Now the thing you gotta understand is when it comes to God, God can only deal with, and you can only deal with today. You see, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Now, you may have been divorced 5 times, you may have been remarried, and now things are going smoothly. You don't have to go back all over that to start with where you are today. And the rest of your life, like, I'm gonna do what God wants me to do with the rest of my life. Now I'm almost 70 years of age, and I still think what I'm supposed to do with the rest of my life is a difficult thing sometimes. But I realize that God works with today. Yes, there's a lot of issues from your past that you gotta deal with, and someday we'll talk about that. But today, I want to talk about your relationship with God, not the relationship with your ex-spouse, not your relationship with others around you. What about you and God? What's going on with you? Let's go back to the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah, and we're in verse 3. And then while we're on, are we doing in Jeremiah? Jeremiah chapter 3. And we're start reading at verse 6.
The Lord said also unto me in the days of Josiah the king, Hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel hath done? She is gone up upon every high mountain, and under every green tree, and there hath played the harlot. And I said after she had done all these things, Turn thou unto me. But she returned not, and her treacherous sister Judah saw it. And I saw, when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away, and given her a bill of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also. And it came to pass, through the lightness of her whoredom, that she defiled the land, and committed adultery with stones and with stocks. And yet for all this her treacherous sister Judah hath not turned unto me with her whole heart, but feignedly, saith the Lord. And the Lord said unto me, The backsliding Israel hath justified herself more than treacherous Judah.
I stopped there for just a second. You gotta get this here. God said, the children of Israel have committed adultery. They have served other gods. They served gods of stone and gods of wood. He said, and I gave them a bill of enforcement and said, I'm done with you. It's over. Don't even bother coming back. I'm just too angry. And Judah, they saw what was going on. Israel and Judah were a divided nation, but Judah saw what was going on, but they didn't turn away. No, he said, if you'll turn back with your whole heart. Once again, it goes back to it's in the heart. It's the heart is in the heart. It's in the spirit that things happen. Now is what God said to Israel. He's given divorce. He said it's over. Now listen to his words of return. Verse 12.
Go and proclaim these words towards the north, and say, Return, thou backsliding Israel, saith the Lord, and I will not cause mine anger to fall upon you. For I am merciful, saith the Lord, and I will not keep anger forever. Only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against the Lord thy God, and hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree, and ye have not obeyed my voice, saith the Lord. Turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city, and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion. And I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And it shall...
Alright, well, we'll stop there, okay? Now listen here. God said, yes, you sinned. No, not about divorce sin. But then, would you please, would you just come back to me? My anger will not last forever. I am merciful. God has no desire for you to die and go to hell. God has a desire for you to be in this thing and tortured because you've been divorced. He has no desire for that. He said, yeah, I will not remain angry forever because I'm merciful. Only one thing you got to do. Verse 13, only acknowledge that you transgressed against my law. Acknowledge that you transgressed against my law, and I will forgive you. Admit that you have transgressed against God, that you went to other gods and served other gods, and you not obeyed my voice. Return unto me. You're gonna love this. For I am married to you. I am married to you. I will take one from the city, one from the country, follow me here, but I will marry you, and I will become everything you need. Isn't that wonderful? Yes, God does want you to live on. He does not want you to stop where you're at, but you gotta start somewhere. And starting right in verse 12. Okay, God, I'm a sinner. Going back to Isaiah 141, that I know I'm a sinner, but God can cleanse me and make me whole if I will allow Him to. There is probably no pain greater than rejection. It comes with a divorce, because that person said, you're not worth my time anymore. And you may say, nobody understands what I'm going through. Nobody really understands. Well, back in Hebrews, we're told that Jesus suffered everything like as we have, and yet without sin, and He knows how we feel. But how can He know about that? I go back to Garden of Eden once again, okay? 1,000 years to get it back. Through Jesus Christ, we get out of communion with one another 1,000 years, but he kept on trying. He kept on trying to get their children to come back. Now, if you read the Old Testament, God sounds a lot like ex-husbands and ex-wives. You've left me behind again. You're not doing what I told you to do, and I'm never going to speak to you again. Remember, you first realized that a divorce was coming. And you say, where did you go? Where are you at? Just like Jesus did. You see, divorce doesn't happen overnight. No, it starts with little things, okay? And you can feel them drawing away. So God knows how you feel. Take it to God and tell God all about it, because God wants to know about your pain and God wants to heal that pain. Now sometime soon, when I get brave enough, I'm going to preach about forgiveness. Or I just say when God tells me I gotta do it. Anyway, that's dismissed with prayer. Dear God, I thank you so much for your love. I thank you, God, for your mercy. And Lord, there may be one right now who is crying out in vain. Would you just wrap your arms up around them, Jesus, and hold them close? We know, God, that you care. Would you be right there with that at this very moment? Not because anything they did, but because of what you did, Jesus. That you died, that they might be set free. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.